All right, welcome to another edition of This Old Doom. We got a special one today because it is the last story map of TNT Evilution, that being the first half of Final Doom. This is map 30, Last Call. And it's interesting for a couple reasons. One of the things that we're going to have to keep in mind is that this does have the kind of the spawn cube floaty thing like Icon of Sin had in Doom 2, and I think one of the master levels had, which can just keep adding enemies endlessly, which is going to affect our market price if we let that go on too long. So I think whatever market price we get today is just going to be an estimate. I don't think it's necessarily going to be very accurate. We might have to, find some way around that. We will be playing with God mode on, and there is another interesting thing about this map, which I am now remembering from back in the day, and that is this room that we start off in with these torches. There's a lot of them, and the colors are interesting, and we're going to need to make note of these because there is a certain order in which the game wants you to go through this next section, and it is kind of hinting at this with these torches. So what do we got? We got a red, 2 greens, and then we do blue, green, and then we do a blue, 2 greens, and then red, blue. Yeah, sure. We'll definitely not remember that, but we will need to. So let's go ahead and kill some enemies before we do anything else, and you'll see already what I'm talking about. There is quite a bit of these little platforms out here. And we need to basically jump on the correct ones or we die. Even, I think, with God mode on, we will die. So that's just something to keep in track of. Even with God mode on, we will most certainly die. And, oh, I do need to turn God mode back on anyway, because, yeah. So I'm going to go ahead. We're going to try to do this. It may take a couple of attempts. We're going to start with the red, and then we're going to do 2 greens. Green, and then we're going to do... Okay, so we did red and 2 greens. Remember this, fake chat. And we'll just hang out here for a second. Kill some stuff. All right, we did reds and 2 greens. Now we're going to do blue, green, 2 more greens, and then I believe red, blue, and we've crossed it successfully. Any other combination and we would be dead. Quite amazing how they pulled that off. So let's go ahead and I'm going to call it yay. Good for us. We did it. Now let's head into the next section of the map. Again, we will be just probably getting more of an estimated value because we start off with 74 monsters, but we're going to have much more by the time all is said and done. And I would expect we're going to have some pretty crazy looking monsters too. It looks like we have one secret we want to find. And we're raising a bridge while simultaneously lowering some walls. Now from a real estate perspective, first of all, I would say that the torch game is a massive deterrent to home intrusion. Although you may face some liability with the fact that it will actually kill people. I was going to say, there's at least one more of you. There we go. This is a pretty cool area. I think this kind of reminds me of a fireplace. And maybe it is with this, like, skull switch here. Would like to head in that door, but that looks like that's not happening yet. Perhaps it's a secret location. or we just have to hit that switch. The lava amount is concerning. Again, that's always going to be a not a good sign in a household, potentially. Assuming you want to use this as a household, you may not. We hear a cyber demon, and look where he's propped up here. I'm invincible, it doesn't matter. It is great fun being able to just shoot him. I mean, granted, he would take, with the legitimate vanilla version of the game, that would take much more super shotgun blasts than I have given him. But you can see a lot of sprawling open areas, which are very nice. We'll head up here and flip this switch. I think this could end up being kind of a short map. And we hear some walls coming down. Where could those be? Actually, it sounds like steps. Oh, we kind of climb this. A little ad hoc spiral staircase appearing in real time. And we still can't get up there. Hold on. I'm confused. Is there, do we have to hit the switch again? Because the staircase went up, but not all the way up. Which tells me we're missing something else. Right? Yeah, how does this work? Remember when I said it's been a while since I've played this? Shoot some stuff. Sometimes shooting stuff helps. What if we actually go up to the door? Alright, what gives here? This is ridiculous. You're telling me we raised these steps, but it still is not enough to get to that item. I mean, I could jump up there, but that seems kind of silly. I don't think, unless the game has glitched out, which I guess is possible, I don't really see any other way to get up there. So just make the jump anyway. I guess maybe we'll just assume the game glitched out or something. Bold of me to assume such a thing. But we're going to anyway. Now let's check in here. I guess it's possible me stepping on it did something. And we have a pool here, which we're going to dive into. And look, it's a teleporter. So now we're getting set up for what is the final routine of the match, I believe. We'll go down this hallway. Again, let's look for potential secrets because we are still missing one. I saw a misaligned wall texture, so I got really excited. There's another one here, too. And I am going to try to kill all of the enemies and do all the things before we proceed. Because I want this monster total to be as up-to-date and accurate as possible. Probably difficult to kill these enemies with weird combinations we have. So you have these little jail prison cells right outside of our line of sight, outside the window. I mean, that's certainly a scenic view. It's certainly something. And then we come out here where we have several skulls. And one more look at the TNT logo, which features so prominently in a lot of these maps. So we have, what, 2 different teleporters, left or right? Which one we taking? I took the right one. I think the left one would drop us off in a similar location. And we got a secret. And we can now hear the backwards voice of John Romero as we grab some more items. There's our final boss right there. I want to go through here and try to grab as many things as possible before we get overwhelmed with enemies. Which is already happening. So you could probably tag this at about, I don't know, 3 million, 5 million, or 3, maybe 2.5, 3 million. It's, more enemies are just going to keep appearing. There's not anything we're going to really be able to do about that. We will grab the rest of the items up here. Yeah, we'll say about 2.4 million with all the items. And then we need to actually fire a couple shots up here. Okay, those shots are not doing anything. There it is. So about 2.5 million for last call. Getting all the items and secrets in that kind of situation was always going to be a tough sell. But there you have it. The final map, technically, of TNT Evolution Final Doom. We've got 2 more secret levels coming up, map 31 and map 32. So stay tuned for those. We'll see you next time. And make sure to subscribe. I look forward to it.